Midnight Music.
Coming up this week on Kings of the Rings podcast, Will's back. So,
Woo!
Yay. So Will's back. It's the end of the year. It's the first time he's been here in 84 days, and we have a lot to talk about. There's a lot of people who might be doing a lot of moves in next year, in the year 2024, and we're going to talk about all of them. So welcome back, Will, I guess. It is episode 362, Free Agent Frenzy, exclusively here on Wrestle Addict Radio, Kings of the Rings podcast, and it starts right now.
Short and sweet, baby.
Midnight Music.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am not alone in the world, contrary to popular belief. I thought I was going to do a solo show this week, but then lo and behold, at a sneak attack, for the first time in over, I think, 84 days. I think it is 84 days.
83 weeks. Come on now.
83 weeks, 84 days. It's been a long time. You haven't been on the show since September. Since then, we've had Smiley, we've had Freds. We had Matt Ritter of SmackDown Raw. You missed that, Will. You missed that.
I know. I'm really bummed.
Yeah.
I'm really bummed I missed it, but he did a good job.
We might even still have more people that I want to bring back. But ladies and gentlemen, he's been away because he's been graduating from PragerU. Welcome back, newest PragerU graduate, Will Tarashak. How are you?
There's a joke I missed in there somewhere.
Yeah, you should look it up. You're not going to like it, but it's going to be great.
I've heard of it. I just don't know what it is. Let me look at the old Google machine.
Yeah, go take a gander at that one. That's a fun one for you when you look up PragerU. Tell me how you feel after that.
Hang on, I guess called Prager.
Yeah, just Prager. Come on, PragerU.
PragerU is a world-leading nonprofit that is focused on changing minds through the creative use of digital media.
Yeah, that's very misleading.
It's okay, conservative viewpoints on Oh God, no, stop it! Oh, I know these guys. No, fuck that. MIA, masquerading in America. Oh Jesus. Yeah. Was this like the Daily Wire?
It's bad. You should see their video about slavery, which includes a Frederick Douglass.
Oh my! I have seen that. I actually know exactly what you're talking about. Is everything racist? God, this is like right wing YouTube, but just worse.
Yeah, congratulations with your algorithms for the next month.
Oh God, PragerU. Actually, I do know what this is. I'm sorry. I know what this is. God damn it, that's a good one. That's a nice recipe. You've been waiting 2 months.
I have actually. That one has been sitting on the slide for a couple of months.
That's good. Where have I been the past 2 months? Yeah, I've been studying the Book of Christ.
Yeah. So welcome back, Will Tarashak. So you want to update the Freds and Smiley who are here on the chat? What the hell you been doing?
Yeah. So basically, I didn't leave. I still plan to be part of the show as much as I can be. There is no work. I mean, there's no heat between me, Rickie, or Kay.
No, not this time.
But basically, an opportunity fell on my lap where 252 is the last incident. Where
that's accurate. Actually, I did the math this morning.
I got the chance to produce another show. This show is called the World Film Alliance. It's a YouTube channel, live streaming. It's a call-in show, and pretty much it's a growing channel with a friend of mine from Nashville. And I couldn't say no. It was an idea to expand what I can do as a producer, way for the channel to grow, as well as make some money in the long run. So. And they has happened to air on Wednesday nights. I try to get them to move to Tuesdays because we've been doing this. The audience is growing, so I couldn't just do that. And I know Kay is not available on Wednesdays either. And we try to convince Rickie to move nights, and Rickie's being stubborn. But
waiting till some deals drop.
Yeah, we're waiting. We're waiting until the TV deals for wrestling come through. So if we need to move our night, inevitably, we don't want to move it twice.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what's going on over here. I'm doing other things and other projects with other shows and live streaming, producing and whatnot. But I've been watching wrestling. It's been great. I'm trying to be active in the Discord, and the show was last night instead of tonight. So and we're taking a holiday break. So for the next few weeks, I'll be here, and then as WE kind of gets stuff together, the King's Rings podcast will find a new day and kind of figure out what the hell we're doing with the three of us.
That is true, Smiley. You did miss all of her CM Punk and Chicago talk.
Oh God, dude! I was like, I want to talk about Survivor Series. I want to talk about Punk. There's so many things I want to talk and come on the show and talk about wrestling. So, of course. As soon as I leave, wrestling it fucking explodes. Like Edge. I want to talk about Edge and AEW. Like, there's so many things I want to talk about that I just didn't get the chance to. But I had to make a big boy decision, and decisions had to be made. Business decisions had to be made. But here we are, making up for lost time. So I'm very happy to be back, Ricky. It's good to be back in this chair, hosting podcasts again. I missed you.
Yeah, right. So if you see our episode from like 2 weeks ago, the one when Triple H and CM Punk are pointing at each other in a picture, which is wild in and of itself. I played the video that Smiley released, I think, on the Talking. On the Ticking of Talking. It is literally her like minutes after CM Punk's return, and she's screaming. You don't even see her face. The camera's shaking everywhere. She's like, oh my God, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Absolutely amazing. So there has been a lot of movement in pro wrestling. There's a lot of stuff going on. All across pro wrestling, a lot of it that we probably won't get to. There's a lot of potential free agents or future free agents that are going on. But before we talk about all of that, TNA is a thing again, if you guys forgot. That's their crappy logo because that logo has a plus in it, Will. And so here's the thing what's happening. TNA's bringing back...
That's what I was looking for. The applause. Good thing. Yeah. TNA's back.
TNA's bringing back their streaming service. It's going to be called TNA Plus. It's going to be about $100 a year if you pay a one-time subscription, or like, or like $8.99 a month. But
what?
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. Will the TNA Plus is going to be part of Endeavor Streaming?
Different Endeavor, though.
Is it a different Endeavor, or are they under
no,
TKO?
It's not under TKO. Okay. It's a different company. Yeah, no, Matt Men talked about this last week. Okay. Like, I heard the breaking news because Sarah was like, I can't do it. And then they looked it up. It's not the same Endeavor. Okay. It's just a good old fashioned TNA coincidence. Yeah, it's going to be part of a different streaming service, but it's not under the WWE umbrella because otherwise we'll just go to Peacock. No.
Yeah, which would be kind of a win for TNA, to be honest with you.
It would be a huge win for TNA because I'd watch the shit out of it. Speaking of that, I bought Endeavor stock. I bought TKO stock, and it dropped like $10. It dropped $10 since I bought it.
Oh, hey, Taquan's back. Taquan, how was college? You got to let us know how it was. You're in your third semester now, something like that.
Yeah, he's gonna graduate early.
No.
He's gonna graduate early or get expelled.
Something like that. Oh yeah. So before we move over to rights deals and stuff, and TNA, this is a good win for TNA. TNA is like the cockroach in wrestling that just somehow finds a way to survive and still be relevant. And TNA is more relevant than ROH, which is sad when you think about it.
Yeah, but it's been more relevant than ROH for like almost a decade.
That's true. Taquan for first guest game soon. We should do it on the Holloway so we can bury it in the other big shows that we do.
That is a gross logo, though.
It's disgusting.
You can make a better logo than that.
It's bad.
It's the yellow going across the T end, the T in the end. It doesn't make it. It's hard to read. What am I looking at?
This was on their official social media accounts that they were pushing this. That's the official logo. This is like a fan made thing. Someone in TNA said this is a good idea.
Yeah, Dixie Carter signed off on
Dixie Carter was on Raw the other week.
I know Dixie Carter was backstage on Raw. What the fuck is going on in wrestling? Randy Orton looks like John Carlos Stanton. He's fucking humongous. Randy Orton looks like fucking Godzilla. He's huge.
I did.
He's huge. He's just fucking ridiculous.
Apparently Randy Orton's a massive gamer too, which is awesome.
I know. He's like, he paid people to play Elden Ring. I'm like, what is going on? What is going on? Why do I have a wrestling podcast to talk about this?
Oh my God. I did see Godzilla -1, and that is a fantastic movie, by the way.
I gotta go see it, but me and Jazz went and saw Beyonce instead.
I'm sorry.
The Beyonce. No, watch it. The Beyonce concert movie is actually fucking incredible.
Yeah, that's gonna be the next thing. I'm gonna say that you went to the Taylor Swift experience in movie theaters.
No, I told her I was like I can't do T Swift. I'll definitely do Beyonce. I was like I can't be a bunch of singing. I can't do it. But she's like, can we see Beyonce? I'm like, yeah. I'll go. Beyonce's a queen. I'll go see Beyonce. That's totally fine. Yeah. It was 3 hours, but it was really good.
Yeah. So speaking of TV deals and stuff, and so here's what I was reading about some stuff about the Raw deal and everything like that, and this pretty much applies, and it's also very genius of WWE, and it makes me wonder how they get $1 billion TV rights deals all the time. WWE does the production for all of their shows, so all they're doing is giving the feed to the television companies.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. It is like it's at like almost no loss to the TV companies. They're just streaming it on their servers.
So when Fox pays for NFL, like Fox needs to provide all the TV crew and everything.
Because they have their own specific designs.
Right.
Yeah.
But WWE's just like, no, we got you.
Yeah.
So it saves USA or Fox or
anything else.
TNN or whoever an absurd amount of money.
Yeah, which also makes WWE in such a power position because they're like, oh yeah, we can wait till our deal expires, sign a deal the next day, and just shoot you the feed.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, there's no rush.
I'm like, oh god damn it.
It's smart on them because they work with the same people. Yeah, right? It's a traveling service, and everyone knows how everything works.
Yeah,
it is really smart on them.
Yeah, it's also the longest since Wrigley Brothers retired. It's the longest traveling show in the world, longest traveling show in the world.
I believe it.
It has happened. So that's the deal. So hopefully WWE doesn't stall with Raw. There's a very, very badly there's like a not verified report that WWE might bring Raw to Warner Brothers Discovery and be on TNT.
I did see that, which isn't happening. I would eat my hat, but it would be really fun.
It'd be so hysterical. That would be totally solidifying that Vince McMahon is out of power. If he went to TNT, that would be brilliant. But no, speaking of TNA, good for them. Also good for them. Okada's coming to TNA, not officially, but he's doing a little bit of a run. He's done this before. But Sports Illustrated did report about a week or so ago that Okada's going to be a free agent in 2024 when his contract's up with NJPW. And there has been discussion that he is interested in taking his talents to the Americas. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Granted, Okada's like 34-ish, so he's still got a lot of time to go.
Yeah, he's about to hit his prime.
He's got a lot of time to go, so the big question is, the first of many, where does arguably the greatest wrestler, one of the greatest wrestlers that have never touched foot on WWE soil, does he make the move to WWE? Does he go to AEW? Okada's eventually pretty much the Otani of his potential free agent class. He can do whatever the hell he wants. His asking price is whatever the hell he wants. Anybody who gets him is going to be better for it. Where do you put the Rainmaker?
Well, I think he's definitely coming to the States because when you say the word Otani, even if you don't Japanese people coming to the United States is because of Otani is going to make way more money. There's this other guy that's coming from the MLB, that pitcher, he's going to make a ton of money.
Yamamoto?
The guy who's signed with the Giants.
Yamamoto?
Yeah. That other guy Koo or someone who's signed with the Giants made a shit ton of money. So Okada is just going to make a shit ton of money because American sports fans are now conditioned to go, oh, Japanese athletes are just out of this world fucking crazy talented, which coincidentally, they also just are.
Yeah, a lot of them are.
So, so he's definitely coming to the States, making a shit ton of money. It's a matter of, does he want to go to AEW with people he knows and has had good matches with before, or does he want to take a step and take a risk and go to WWE and see what he can do there. Wherever he goes, he's going to be massively successful. He's going to be a massive star, and this is TNA. But I think he goes to AEW. I think he sticks to what he knows. I think TK is going to give him a shit ton of money, and I don't think WWE needs Okada. To be honest, I really don't.
You make a good point. Sorry, that's okay. You make a good point. WWE doesn't need Okada. WWE also didn't need CM Punk or Jade Cargill. But because there is a threat to him go to AEW, WWE is going to make a massive push for him. I also think about it in this way. New Japan Pro Wrestling and Wrestle Kingdom is probably the second greatest show in modern pro wrestling, next to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You know, the only other thing bigger that he hasn't been on, because remember, we've seen Okada in AEW. He's done a couple of tours with them. The only bigger thing that he hasn't done or hasn't touched yet is a WrestleMania run. Okada at Mania would be amazing, especially if the next WrestleMania is somewhere on the if they keep it on the coast.
Yeah, him versus Seth Rollins is gonna fucking tear it down.
You know, for me, like, I mean, you want to talk about like dreams and stuff like this. You have arguably the greatest IWGP, one of the greatest IWGP heavyweight champions. 'Cause that list is pretty long. One of the greatest IWGP heavyweight champions ever to never touch foot in a WrestleMania or in a WWE ring. Even if he does like a year run, if he goes like the original Ronda Rousey run and then disappears, it's worth it. You know,
I think the matchups in WWE are a lot better. Like him, excuse me, him, Seth, him and AJ, him and Cody, him, honestly, him and Brock. I want to see him and Brock.
I feel like they fought in New Japan.
Probably, but I would love to see that match because it's just like, what a fucking crazy match. Okada versus Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. And I think what plays into WWE's role as well is that it's not just a North American brand anymore. I mean, it hasn't been for a while, but WWE is really being this global powerhouse. Next year, Australia, France, Germany. That we know of already.
Yeah.
Okay. They are expanding like maniacs. And they're going to sell out like maniacs. Like, it's one thing for Okada to come to AEW and give his footprint to people that already know him. But, like, he can... And I don't know if Okada's ever actually been to, like, Germany and, like, wrestled or France or anything like that. But the way that WWE is marketing itself is that you can be a superstar not only in the Americas. We can make you a superstar. But now, since we're going globally like maniacs, you can be a world superstar. And that's something that AEW can't do just yet.
Well, AEW needs to start with hard cam.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, if he goes to AEW, it's familiar, it's something he can do, and I think that's fine. But he could be comfortable with that. I mean, Kenny and the Bucks were comfortable with that, and they want to do their own thing. And kudos to them. They've been, when you look at the grand scheme of things, highly fucking successful.
Yeah.
But does Okada want to go that route and not think of what could be? Like, Okada's been at WrestleMania weekend. Like, he's been spotted multiple times on multiple WrestleManias. Like, it's not like it's unfamiliar to him. I think if he's really trying to do something, and like and also, well, me and you saw Okada when they did the ROH thing, the G1 Classic.
Yeah,
he's as advertised. Like, he's a big deal. Like,
he's very, very over.
Yeah.
Like, he has that star presence.
Yeah.
He has, it's the airport test.
Yeah.
Right. He passed that airport test.
Yeah. I mean, NJPW has produced his presence unbelievably well.
How is his English?
That is my other concern too. Like how are you going to market him? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Because obviously when you watch an NJPW show, it's going to be in his native tongue, and so there's going to be English translation. So, like, I don't know if he's like at the point of being bilingual or anything like that.
Like, I'm not worried about WWE like fumbling him or making him like a Tozawa or a Funaki.
Listen, Tozawa's doing great right now.
Yeah, Tozawa is doing great, but I'm not afraid of like Okada coming in and being a joke because of the language barrier, right? I mean. But if you're gonna be a big star in WWE, you gotta communicate.
There is that thing there. Although they've started to be a little bit lenient, they give Shinsuke anime like promos with translation, which is awesome.
Oh, Shinsuke's promos are fucking amazing. First of all, like the subtitles and because they're all the promo package. Yeah, he's an anime villain. It's really good and it works.
Yeah.
And Shinsuke is very comfortable doing
yes.
it. The problem with Shinsuke is I don't believe he's gonna win a match like ever.
That's
when you have Okada. It can work.
Yeah.
Now, but it also works for Shinsuke because he's a heel.
Mm-hmm.
Can you do that same magic as a babyface that Okada's never going to be? Probably.
Probably.
But it's not as easy. Like, you can either do like an 80s like Rocky montage, training montage, right? Like, or God, like 1996, like it was WCW. It was Kevin Green and Mongo training for
Mongo McMichael.
Mongo McMichael. Brett knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I honestly, I don't know. It's a toss-up, but whoever gets Okada, it's going to be a huge fucking deal. It's going to push some needles.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to AEW.
I wouldn't be
I think he would do very well in AEW. AEW definitely needs him. But then again, Will Ospreay signs, and that wasn't that big of a splash.
His contract's not coming. Yeah. His contract's not up with NJPW until February.
Ospreay? Yeah. Well, he's not going to WWE. He's going to sign with AEW.
Well, yeah, no. He's intended to sign, but he can't sign officially until February.
Okay, copy.
Yeah.
But it's just like, so another thing for me is too, like, if I'm Okada, I go to Will Ospreay. It's like, why didn't you go to WWE?
That's a good question.
I wonder if WWE undersold Will Ospreay, because who's the biggest star, Will Ospreay or Okada? Well, I know what Okada looks like. Like I couldn't pick out Will Ospreay out of the lineup. I mean, I probably could, but I had to guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Okada's just a bigger star, but Will Ospreay is a fucking great talent too. But like, why didn't he go to WWE? That's very, very curious to me.
He's had an offer with, not Okada. Ospreay's had an offer with WWE multiple times.
Yeah.
So that would be a great question.
I mean, but Okada could also do a pit stop in AEW for 3 years and then go to WWE.
He could do that as well.
It's like there's no rush.
No, not
Okada.
at all. Not at all. I mean, I would love to see. I mean, there's so many even like redos of matchups he can do, like Okada, Shinsuke, Okada, AJ. Whenever AJ gets healthy, like there's Okada Roman would be a mega event.
Dude, Okada Randy Orton. Right? Like, let's be real here. Come on now.
Like it would be
like Okada Gunther.
Oh Lord,
right? Like Carmelo Hayes when Carmelo Hayes is ready.
Yeah.
Like let's get this ball rolling.
Rick Williams versus Okada.
Yeah, like the matchups are just way better for him, I think, in WWE. Yeah. But AEW is a little more familiar for him. So if you wanted to get him like warm up to an American audience, and he's still pretty warm to an American audience, but But I don't think he's staying in Japan because I think there's nothing left.
He's done it. He's done it all, and he's done it all twice.
Yeah.
He needs a new challenge. So.
But AEW could also leave the door for him to do both. I mean, if he signs with AEW, he could still do things. He could because here's the thing: if he's gonna go to WWE, he has to move to Florida. He has to move to the States. You have to move your whole family to a brand new country. Mm-hmm. And this country isn't the best right now.
Yeah.
Especially fucking Florida. So like, does he want to uproot his family, or would he want to do an AEW where he can potentially still do a semblance of both?
Yeah, another good person he probably should ask, talk to Kairi Sane.
That too. Yeah, talk to Kairi Sane.
Because she left, got married, and decided to uproot herself again and come back.
Yeah, well, and she left for the pandemic too. She's like, I'm just gonna go home.
Well, yeah, her husband was back in Japan.
Yeah, that too. Like, just take a few years, and now she's back, and she looks fucking great.
Oh my god, she's fucking amazing. That elbow, I miss that elbow drop so much.
Yeah, I love her new character. It's terrifying in my dick hard.
it's an emo pirate princess is what it is.
Yeah, it's great. I love how she won I hate the stupid steering wheel, but it's like, all right, fine.
Steering wheel's great. Steering wheel's...
That story with Bailey is it's a really good slow burn, and I can't wait for Bailey to be a babyface again.
Yeah, the hugger's coming back. I can see it. The hugger's definitely coming back.
They're just gonna Billy Izzy in the end. It's gonna be awesome.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah, speaking of huggers, there is a boss that recently announced via social media, also by the way, one of the nicest people I've ever met and one of the most genuine people I've ever met, that she is trading for in-ring return. She was out with injury for a while. She also did, The Mandalorian and things like that.
Yeah.
So Mercedes Moné, to my knowledge, will at some point, when she is ready, a free agent, and her dollar amount is going to be high, as it should, especially with all the work that she did. It's the second ever IWGP champion, only to Kairi Sane, who was the first one, and her stock has gone up ever since then. She bet on herself. She left WWE. She's had a great run.
Has she? I know she had the belt, but she got hurt. She got hurt relatively early, right?
No, she had a couple defenses and then got hurt.
Okay, so I'm saying in terms of specifically when it comes to wrestling, because outside of wrestling, yeah, her stock went crazy up for sure.
Ridiculous.
Right, but I'm saying in terms of wrestling, she hasn't done that much because she got hurt pretty quickly. So does that hurt her stock? It depends where she wants to go.
Yeah, I mean, even though like she was hurt and she was out, she still made her presence known. Like she was at AEW's all Wembley, yeah. We'll call it all Wembley,
all in out belly button.
Yeah, something like that. Where she clearly wasn't an invitee. She had just bought a ticket and was in the area. Now that a lot of the powers that be that kind of not encouraged, but was the motivation for her to kind of walk out the first time, aren't there anymore, and this is pretty much a Triple H show. That could entice her to come back.
That's a good point.
It's been like she posted, I think, about yesterday. Yeah, yesterday was she posted the video of her first match in NXT. It was 10 years ago. 10, 11 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she's like 32, right?
No,
32
she's
years old now? No, now.
Oh, now? Something like close to it. Something like that. Because I know she's younger than me. But yeah, so her price is going to be high. And when you look at women's divisions, NXT always has a fantastic one. Impact is doing really well. Although it's not on the slide, but I will mention Deonna Purrazzo might be on the market very, very soon, and her stock did really well once she left WWE, or got fired actually, and changed her attitude and became really good.
Who was she in WWE?
She was Deonna Purrazzo. Okay. Yeah, like she kept the name. But that was also an NXT, so we don't know if she would even come back and they'd have her change her name, but hopefully she's wised up and got the rights to her name, so that she can still continue to use it, like a Mickie James character and whatnot. So you look at Impact is great. Trinity's doing really well over there, formerly known as Naomi. She's a pretty big star. AEW's women's division baffles me a lot of the time. So when I'm thinking of Mercedes Moné, a.k.a. formerly known as Sasha Banks, I think the best bet for her is probably WWE, more so than like Okada going to WWE, because Okada, I think, could go to AEW and be just fucking fine, But I think if you put Sasha in AEW, does she get lost in the sauce that is that very, very weirdly, very, very weirdly managed women's division?
There's nothing for her in AEW because TK has practically said he doesn't like women's wrestling.
Yeah.
He might as well just said, I just don't like women's wrestling. Yeah. So I think there's nothing for her in AEW. She left because she was, we all know why she left. But she also, in terms of wrestling, she wanted to go to Japan and find herself again. So is that itch scratched? For her, she might be like, you know what? I still want to do 2 years in New Japan.
True.
So, and I think there's nothing wrong with that. Like WWE, she can open that door whenever the fuck she wants.
Yeah.
And I don't think she'll get lost in WWE. I think WWE will find a place for her. Like her versus Rhea Ripley needs a Sasha Banks right now.
Mm-hmm.
Rhea Ripley very much needs a Sasha Banks. Rhea Ripley has no one to dance with.
Yeah.
which is a big bunch. She's been having anyone to dance with all year, which is why she's done so good with the Judgment Day.
That's why she also
But her
dances
title
with
run-
Damien and just puts Damien in his place.
Yeah, like Rhea Ripley has done great character work, but the title is useless because she has no one to fucking wrestle.
Yeah.
And she needs a Sasha Banks.
Mm-hmm.
And that's leverage for Sasha. Whereas on the SmackDown side, Io has plenty of people to work with.
Yeah, because most of
She's
the
a
four
full
horsewomen
division.
are over there.
Yeah. So I would love to see her back in WWE. They'd find a place for her. AEW, there's nothing for her there, but it's up to her. Does she have the itch to find her love of pro wrestling again? You know, that her getting injured took that away from her.
Yeah, and I think the evolution of her character, especially when she went from the boss to the CEO, was great. Was a great evolution, and she's always had a thing for Japanese wrestling and Japanese pop culture. If anybody follows her, so I think this is one of the things where she left and she's like, okay, maybe I could just do all the stuff that I want to do, which is sometimes the best thing for wrestlers. Drew McIntyre did it. Cody did it. Cody famously did it with The List. He was like, now that I'm not confined to my contractual obligation to WWE, which is at the time pretty tight. Now I can do all of these personal interests, and when I'm ready to come back, I can come back. And
but she didn't get to do that though because she got hurt.
Yeah, she did a lot of it though. Like she won the title. She was going pretty great marketing, but there could, like you said, there could be that itch where it's like, I got injured and I had to give up my title because I got injured. Right. So
now it's a matter of, okay, do you want to let bygones be bygones, or do you still have something to prove to yourself or someone else? So
yeah,
I think if I were her, I'd probably go to Japan for a year or two.
Okay.
That's what I would do. But if she wants the money, which a big reason she left was due to money.
Her contract was shit compared to everybody else.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't blame her for that.
Yeah.
So if you want that payday, I think you're pretty much going to get it now.
Oh yeah, without question.
At least, I still don't think you can get like Charlotte or Becky money, but you'll be pretty close.
She'll get. I feel like she will get around the mill.
Yeah. She's definitely worth. She's definitely worth $1 million. Like Roman gets 4. There's only certain people who get 4. That's like the highest echelon.
Except for if you're Brock. Brock got like 13.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I think she's definitely, because she was getting what, 250?
She was getting a lot lower than $1 million.
Or 5?
I think it was around 5 or 6.
Yeah. Which, no, she's worth $1 million a year. Just in base and everything else with merch and everything.
Incentivization, all of that stuff.
Just base, I think Sasha Banks is easily worth $1 million a year, for sure. No question, my man.
So it depends on what her number is. Fred thinks she might be number 30 at the Rumble, which would be nuts. I still think you say that for Jade. The one thing that intrigues me matchup-wise, Sasha, Jade, Bianca, the greatest blackest women's triple threat ever.
Yeah, so much muscles. So many muscles.
So many muscles. Although there's also Lash Legend in NXT. I don't know if you saw that clip of her body slamming Otis.
You know, I did actually. I didn't know that was Lash Legend, but I did.
That was
see
Lash
it.
Legend.
Fucking
Yeah,
nuts.
is
she still doing that stupid talk show?
No, she's not doing that. No, she's part of Noam Dar's faction, Metaphor.
Oh Jesus!
Metaphor's really funny. They're just
stop it. I don't want to hear it. I don't even want to know.
They have
like
a Power Ranger like entrance. It's great.
It's
great. Listen,
I'm not watching NXT.
Shawn Michaels NXT is really entertaining.
I bet it is. You know what? I know Baron Corbin's doing great in NXT. I promise, Ricky, I am this close to watching NXT again. I almost watched Deadline because I saw CM Punk.
We're gonna talk about Deadline, but yeah.
I'm really close to watching NXT again if I had more time in the world.
Yeah. No, NXT's fun. NXT's fun. Trick Williams is the most over person now. Your boy Trick.
My boy.
Yeah. Metaphor is brilliant. They have a TMT entrance. Yeah, they do have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles type entrance. It's fucking great.
Do they come up with pizza? That'd be
They
pretty
do
cool.
not. They not. The Noam Dar comes out with the NXT Heritage Cup. So there's that. So yeah, Sasha or Mercedes or whatever.
I think she goes Sasha, Mercedes. I think she goes to Japan.
I would lean towards WWE. Like, the thing about it is Mania season. It's coming up, but also, I would love to know what her contractual obligations is in Japan, because traditionally, their contracts go up and are ended in like February.
Yeah, did she signed a deal already, right? Like
I'm not sure.
Like, because before she got hurt, did she sign a deal anywhere? Because
I would have to look it up. I am not sure. But she is going to be available, and then
she'll be available sooner rather than later.
Yeah,
sure.
pretty much, yeah. So don't be surprised if she pops up on your TV screen again. So, because at this point in the wrestling world, we're living in a multiverse. At this point, and anything is possible.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, doors have been opened.
Speaking of crazy, this is one of the craziest pictures that hit the internet this Monday night. It was at the Iron Claw movie premiere, and it's MJF shaking hands with John Cena. MJF is supposed to be a free agent next year. There are rumors of that he's already re-signed with AEW. I don't believe that one bit. If MJF's a smart man,
I don't believe that. Yeah, fucking right. Tony Khan wishful thinking.
Yeah. They were at the Iron Claw movie premiere, which is about the Von Erich, starring Zac Efron, of all people, who's playing a Von Erich. Apparently, MJF is also one of the Von Erichs in the movie.
I heard that. I heard mixed things about the movie. I heard wrestling purists hate it. But regular people love it.
Oh, see, that's the problem, because I am on the fence. I was like, do I want to see this? A24 has a good track record of making pretty good quality movies. They are like an independent film company. I saw the people who are playing some of the other characters, like the Sheik's in it, Flair's in it, Bruiser Brody's, and I was like, this could be interesting. But I looked at the headshots of people, and I'm just like, I can't see that person playing Ric Flair. I can't see that person playing Bruiser Brody. The other thing about the Von Erichs, I've watched Dark Side of the Ring. I know all about wrestling. They all die. Most of them are dead. I know how this is going to end. It's like when I didn't want to go see Passion of the Christ. I know the story. I read the book. I know how this is going to end. So do I really want to see this? Most of the things that were interesting about this, there was a lot of presence of wrestlers there. Liv Morgan was there. John Cena was there. Baron Corbin, for some reason, was there as well. There was a lot of WWE people compared to, from what I saw, MJF and Lana, a.k.a. CJ Perry, were the only two AEW talent that I noticed from the pictures that have circulated the internet that were there.
Aren't the Von Erichs wrestling for AEW?
The one of them is. I don't know.
Yeah, there's two of them.
One of the grandsons or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really.
It was concerning, and then this is business wrestling stuff, guys. We're going to talk about MJF because this is a big deal because he's shaking hands with John Cena, and John Cena put up the Burberry pattern on his Instagram. Now people are going fucking nuts. And I wouldn't be surprised if John Cena just promoted the crap out of WWE to just drag him over.
Yeah, call Triple H is okay, I got
look
him.
At that face. MJF is like, I made the deal. That face says, I made the deal.
Dude, they should have done the point. First of all, they should have done the point, not shake hands. They should have done the fucking point.
Yeah. So my thing is MJF's your world champion. He's starring in a movie about professional wrestling. How do you not lambast this over all of your products?
Well, because AEW doesn't do good business. They're not good business people. We've established this multiple times.
It still baffles me.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
It blows my mind. Liv Morgan is injured, and she's walking the red carpet. Okay. So it blows my mind, and their next person up on this free agent frenzy is MJF, your biggest star that's still there in the company in AEW, supposedly one of the pillars of AEW. His contract's coming up. At this point, MJF's not going to Japan. Everybody knows that. He's not going to Impact. Yeah, he's not doing it. It's between WWE and AEW. It's a two-horse race. Where does MJF go? Well, where does it go?
I think he stays with AEW.
I can see that.
I do. It depends. I think obviously it depends. It depends on the number of years. How long does Tony Khan want to lock him up for? Would you do a 5-year deal with AEW?
I think that's what the Bucks and Hangman did.
Yeah, I wouldn't do more than 3 if I'm MJF. I would do a 3-year deal for a shit ton of money. Because by then, 3 years, you're gonna be on top.
He'll be pushing.
Right?
He'll be pushing 30 at that time.
Fine. Like he is on top of this company for as long as he wants to be.
Yeah.
It's a matter of how long do you want to be, right? Like, because WWE is always going to be there. So that door is always going to be open unless you like murder one of Triple H's kids, right? Like that you can always just go, hey, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Right? There is no pressure on you to go to WWE. So if you like being on top, you like being that main star, you like being the face of a company, you want more exposure in like practice being on top, and you want to prove yourself to try and build this new company, yeah, sign a 3-year deal. You have nothing to lose. Literally, you have nothing to lose.
He doesn't really. My thing.
Or you can sign a 5-year deal, and if the company goes under, it doesn't even matter. You just go to WWE anyway. Like, I think like if you go to WWE and you flop,
it's not good. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not going to. They're not going to let him. And he's that good. But if you stay in AEW for 3 years and just polish and polish and polish, it's going to make when you do go that much better. And WWE is very, very crowded right now. Like, you wait 3 years, Roman's going to be gone, Seth's going to be on his way out, people are still going to be there, but it's going to be more of an opportunity for you to make a bigger impact in 3 or 5 years than next year.
Yeah, the question I have for him is that how important is it for him to be the guy and be the top guy and continue to make that impact, or does he want to kind of bulk up his resume and be like, I went over and I fought against a legendary Seth Rollins, I fought against Roman Reigns, things like that? Or does he miss that window and somebody it's an easier route for him to go on top when he goes to WWE? That's a big thing. The other thing I would ask, I would think MJF should rely on the information from Regal, who's been who has been his storyline in AEW, was like his nemesis, and then they kind of got together, and then Regal had to leave, obviously, because he wanted to be with his son. So, like, if there's anybody who has seen both sides of the coin from an administrative perspective and an in-ring perspective, it's Regal. My only call outside of, you talk to Trips. Trips probably talks to MJF all the time, and we just don't know it yet, because that's just a Triple H thing to do. My call would be to Regal, be like, hey, my contract's up with AEW. I'm considering WWE. You've been back in WWE for over a year. You've seen the change in power. You've seen how things are being run there. What do you think would be best for my future and my career? There's no better resource for MJF than Regal. Like, at this point in time. There is no better resource. And then also it's like, what more does MJF want to do creatively? I feel like his magnum opus of a storyline is the Devil storyline. Like, I don't know what, and I feel like he would probably get a little bit more creative freedom in AEW.
Oh, for sure. He gets to be more of a dick. He's gonna have more fun. Well, that's fun.
Fun is subjective. Yeah.
But he's gonna be able to be more of a dick in AEW.
So the big question is, what more creatively does he want? What other stories does he feel like he wants to tell? We've heard the story about his failed engagement. We've heard the story about William Regal kind of getting him the boot. We have the Devil storyline. We have the best friends with Adam Cole, bromance, whatever it is. So, like, what more else is there for MJF that he wants? What other stories does he want to tell before he might get, be in more of like a creative team? The other thing, too, is outside of Regal, he has Edge in his pocket. He has Christian there, too. It's like, of anybody currently on that roster, I talk to Edge or Adam Copeland, whatever he's going by. I talk to Edge, be like, dude, what's the atmosphere like? You just left. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Edge is just on a fun run right now, and everybody knows it. Edge is on a fun run with Christian.
Yeah, Edge is playing the hits.
He's playing the hits.
Edge is having fun, which good for
he
him.
Deserves it.
Like, I didn't get to talk about Edge. I didn't get to talk about Edge in the podcast, but yeah, like, I'm not surprised he went to AEW. I'm actually very happy he went to AEW because he's just having fun.
If there's anybody that can help right the ship of AEW, especially locker room culture and creatively.
I don't think he wants that responsibility. I don't think to be honest,
Edge is also one of those people who will give you advice just for shits and giggles, because he's just that nice of a guy.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, no. If you approach Edge, but like, do you think Edge is like in the locker room with Jungle Boy?
No,
you know what I mean? Like,
clearly not.
Yeah,
clearly not. So for me, it's a toss up because he's going to be fine wherever he goes. For MJF, to be completely honest.
Yeah, if I were him, now what if Tony Khan was just like, okay, MJF, 8 years, $80 million. I'd be like, go get the fuck out. you take your money and go fuck yourself. I'm going to WWE. Like, just don't insult my intelligence. I think he said it's AEW just for a few more years. Because there's still juice in that orange. There's still plenty of things to squeeze out of AEW, and they need him very, very badly. And I don't think he'd get lost in the shuffle in WWE, but I think he would do better work overall in AEW for the next few years.
That's fine. I'm okay with that. You know, polish his skills.
Yeah,
his in-ring is fine. I think like his in-ring work will probably have to increase a little bit more in WWE than it is in AEW. Like, he gets off by being a great storyteller and a great promo person, which is perfectly fine. He'll
be in a performance center for a few months and he'll be fine.
Yeah. That's the other thing. Like, he can.
Like, that's where Jade is right now. Where's Jade? She's learning to wrestle.
Yeah,
that's where Jade is.
Yeah,
she's learning how to
also,
work.
I believe her mom just passed away in the past week. So I think she, So I think she did take, obviously, time off for that. So there's that. And AEW doesn't have that pipeline just yet. And I hope they would at some point. Like, you know, New Japan has a dojo. WWE has, WWE has the PC.
What they have in WCW is like the
power plant.
Nuclear or something. The power plant. That's what it's, the power plant.
So
the nuclear. That was close.
Yeah, so MJF is a toss-up. He's going to be fine wherever he goes. It's just a matter of what he wants to do. But that photo with Cena is...
it's really they should have done a point, dude. They should have done a fucking point. But that's really funny. It's a good photo.
That is a good photo. Speaking of AEW, it has come out in recent weeks. Daniel Bryan seen here without an eye patch because Tony Khan loves somebody with an eye patch. Daniel Bryan was on the committee that recommended that CM Punk be fired from AEW. It has also come out in reports, and I believe Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson has also confirmed that he is also a part of this committee that AEW has put that has begun to fine people for their social media posts.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Was Daniel Bryan becoming a PC principal over here? Like, Christ, is he going to start like telling people to stop eating meat?
I want Bryan Danielson in a right to censor get up with an eye patch. That's all I want.
Dude, like, why are you finding people for social media posts? Like, what is it? That's not going to help put people in the hard cam section. Like, it's just not. Like, what are you doing? Like, okay, if you want to be a committee for when people fight backstage and repercussions for CM Punk and stuff like that, fine, right? That makes sense to me. But it's just like, okay, now you give someone power. He's like, okay, what else can I do? Oh, let's stop monitoring social media like we're the fucking government. Yeah. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Stop this.
Danielson is the new Dwight Schrute. I love it.
Yeah, dude. Like, what are you doing? Like, are you trying? Well, maybe it's just WWE mark. He just likes WWE that
much. I bet you he finds people and writes on like the memo part of a check, fickle.
Fickle.
Fickle. It's like, at this point, has Bryan Danielson become the thing that he hates? Has he?
Like, where is this money go? Does money go to Birdie's college fund? Like, where's this fine money going?
Like, has Bryan Danielson lived long enough to become the villain? Like, are we at this point in his arc that he has become the villain?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, what happens? We happen to give a poor person power. This.
Yeah, I think Daniel Bryan people power.
That's pretty good, Fred. That's pretty good.
Now I have a picture of Bryan Danielson or Daniel Bryan in like a right to censor outfit, an eye patch, and a
Daniel Bryan's here, guys. Daniel Bryan.
and a motor scooter just around the AEW locker room.
What are
That's what I want to see on AEW backstage. That's what I want to see. I would tune in every week to see a Bryan, like, just, it's like he's like, if Bryan Danielson just, he's like a couple of ages away from being Zeb Coulter.
Dude, stop it right now, because you're so right. It's hard to express how correct you are.
He's that close. He is that close to we the people, Zeb Coulter.
Hey, Jack Swagger and Cesaro were both there. They could do it.
I know. Oh my god. When you look how xenophobic that gimmick was, it was so over.
All the illegals crossing over the border.
We the people. Like, oh wow. Like, we like this. Oh my god. But yeah, that's the Bryan Danielson bad right now. And I'm concerned.
Fucking Zeb Coulter.
He's a step away. He's almost there. He's almost there. I can see it. Oh my god.
We seen a vignette of Daniel Bryan shooting cans of Bud Light with an AK, an AR. I'm Kid Rock.
Oh my god. Okay. So I know you didn't watch Deadline, but NXT Deadline was actually a pretty decent show, and you had CM Punk on his I'm Back World Tour with Shawn Michaels opening up a show, and CM Punk doing the most Will Turner shock thing I've ever seen, is approaching Shawn Michaels in a Bret Hart pink hoodie.
That's pretty good. That's good trolling right there.
And Shawn Michaels goes, "Nice hoodie." He goes, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry, my HBK one was at home." But Deadline was a good show. I did end up watching it a little bit later. Funny story about that, because I canceled my Peacock after War Games, not realizing that Deadline was like the next week. Because I'm going to re-up on Peacock and do a year subscription instead of a monthly subscription next year.
Okay, gonna save
Yeah,
it. Okay,
right before the Rumble, because, you know, finances, you know.
Yeah, money.
So I ended up watching it on a stream, on everything like that. But Deadline is interesting because I know we talked about it a little bit last year about the new match format called the Iron Survivor that they did, and ironically, Shawn Michaels' NXT is very interesting because he's setting up things really well, because you have the breakout tournament, which is like essentially their Money in the Bank winner. And then who Lola Vice won. If you ever look up Lola Vice, you're welcome, Will. And then you have...
Yeah, don't mind if I do.
You won't be disappointed. Excuse me. And then you have... And the breakout tournament winner can challenge for any title, anytime, anywhere. Kind of like their Money in the Bank. But then you have their...
Oh, hello.
Yeah, you're welcome. She used to be a UFC fighter.
I can tell. I can see that.
And then you have these Iron Survivors, who the winner of that gets the next title shot at the first NXT of the new year, New Year's Evil. So, like, NXT's got a good, consistent schedule that they've developed, like, post-takeover years, which is really good. And Iron Survivor... The more I watch it, the more I like it. This is the second year of it, and I really enjoyed it. Do you remember the rules of Iron Survivor?
It wasn't like if you're pinned, you gotta go in the penalty box for like
it's like a
30
championship
seconds.
scramble type deal.
Yeah.
So that
I liked the championship scramble. First of all, I thought that was a pretty good idea.
So here's how it goes. They started out kind of a war game style. So there's five competitors, and two people start the match. Then every 5 minutes. It's a 25 minutes match, number one. So it's straight 25 minutes, nonstop. Every 5 minutes, someone else comes in. So as soon as you get to the 15-minute mark, you got 10 minutes of everybody in the ring. So it's controlled chaos in that notion. If you can lose by pinfall or submission or DQ. Once you get pinned, you go into what's known as their penalty box for 90 seconds.
That's what it was very pretty.
Yeah. So it becomes a strategy. Becomes a strategy game. But what they did this year, which is interesting, was number one, you can pin two people at the same time. Like Lash Legend did the Roman Reigns pin and got 2 points.
That's pretty cool.
You know.
It's a nice touch.
Yeah, Lash Legend stock is growing. Deadline was really fun. Trick Williams won the Iron Survivor, and he'll get his title shot against Ilya Dragunov at New Year's Evil. which is pretty ferocious. And then Blair Davenport won, and she'll be facing Lyra Valkyria, which you didn't watch the last NXT event before, right? You didn't see No Mercy, right?
No, I haven't watched NXT since 2.0.
Oh wow, yeah, you missed some fun stuff.
Yeah, no, it's been a few
Chase
years.
Hughes in a scandal, which is really funny.
Like just through news or people talking about it on podcasts, but
Chase Hughes in a scandal. It's really funny. Chase Hughes in a scandal, but Deadline is good. If you get a chance to watch it, just watch it for the Iron Survivor matches. Trick Williams pulls a Tracy McGrady. Trick Williams had no points. He had 4 pins in like 30 seconds. It was a great ending.
What a guy.
What a guy. Trick Williams has the most over thing. So you ever watch Hustle and Flow?
No.
Do you remember when people were saying like whoop that trick, whoop that trick?
Yeah.
So that is Trick Williams's entrance. It's just a hip hop beat and people screaming whoop that trick, whoop that trick. And Booker T on commentary like, yeah. Oh yeah. Shucky, ducky, quack, quack, and NXT is very consistent. I'll put it that way. Very, very consistent.
Okay, put it this way. I know NXT is good. Right? Like I'm not gonna be like, oh fuck NXT, it's not worth watching. I know it's good. I'm just one man. that's the problem.
No, I get it. I'm just saying no, it's not about being good. I think it's for that they're consistent.
Yeah, if I had more time, I would watch NXT before AEW. I don't watch AEW either.
So, moving on due to WWE stuff and the free agent frenzy. Well, we all know where Randy Orton's going, jacked as all hell. Randy Orton's going to SmackDown. And so the big question here is not where Randy Orton's going to sign or not how big Randy Orton is, because Randy Orton's freaking huge. Okay.
Yeah, I was watching Cyrus with my parents because that was Thanksgiving weekend. And when he came out, I just kept saying over and over, he's so huge. He's humongous. My dad really enjoyed War Games. My mom didn't give a fuck. But he was just like, even he was like, yeah, he's humongous. My dad was like, he's so fucking big. I'm like, Dad, he's not usually that big. Like, he hurt his back. It was like, I'm just going to have a second one. Like, I'm going to grow a second back on my front. Like, he's so big.
He's massive.
I was like, dude, for some reason, him being wider makes him look taller. He's so fucking big.
I think I was on a chat with Charles. We were watching via PlayStation. Charles, after us screaming like how big he is, I think Charles was like, that's it, I'm going back to the gym.
I'm going back to the gym. Yeah. Like, him next to Rhea Ripley, I'm like, oh my God. He is so big. Also, he looks so happy. Like him being like all happy-go-lucky.
You know why?
Because it's like Randy's a terrible face, but this Randy is really fun to watch.
It's because what's up, Big Hirsch? How you doing, buddy? It is because Randy, Big Hirsch. If you stay long enough, by the way, we're going to talk about your girl. It's because Randy doesn't have to carry Riddle around. That's what it is.
Yeah, but he had big praises for Riddle though. Like he was on Impulsive, and he put over Matt Riddle really hard. He's like, he's like, that's why I was able to wrestle for so long, because I didn't have to do much.
Yeah. God, I want Randy to beat the Flair record at this point.
Nah. Charlotte's gonna break it.
Fair. But the big question here is Randy the right fit for SmackDown? Like, did he make the right choice?
Yeah, 100%.
Especially after, did you see him RKO Nick Aldis?
Yeah,
we didn't even talk about how great of a get Nick Aldis is, randomly.
Yeah, it was a great get, but like when they announced him, the crowd didn't know who he was, which I thought was a little surprising. Like nobody, silence, nothing, zilch.
Yeah, he was on Corey Graves' podcast, and Nick Aldis talks about a story. It's actually really good. He was like, dude, this is what they offered me. I'm going to take it. It's literally what he said. He was like, this is what they offered me. He was like, I'm going to take it. I'm going to work from there. I was like, smart move, I guess.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I mean, because Adam Pearce is incredible. Like I love me some Adam.
I'm
Pearce.
so
He's a
happy
great
he gets
authority
one
figure.
show. I'm so happy.
Yeah, but you don't need him on both. And I think him and Nick Aldis are a good foil for each other because those segments are pretty good. Like the little animosity and jabs they dig at each other. It's just good TV.
They're just grumpy old men at this point.
Yeah, they're like we both want to wrestle, but we fucking can't. So fuck you.
I'm saying this now. I don't think it's long before Mickie James returns. She's married to Nick.
I thought she retired though.
She can come. They can be the new Trips and stuff.
Yeah, true. I connected with Mickie James on LinkedIn. I told her how much I love her hardcore country and her career is awesome. She said thank you. Really
Shout out to Mickie. Mickie James is awesome to meet. Yeah,
she is really nice.
Yeah, Randy. Oh man, there's so much for Randy to do. He's obviously going to go up against Roman. I think Randy Roman is Royal Rumble.
It absolutely. I can't wait for him to RKO the Yes Boys. Both of them at the same time. Like, yeah, there's plenty of good matchups. Like he's gonna RKO Austin Theory. He's got him and Kevin Owens.
I wanted him to
like,
RKO Rhea, but he didn't do it.
I wanted him to RKO. He's like, Daddy's back. And I was like, no, just RKO her. Stop it. It's fine. No one's gonna be mad.
I thought when Rhea was going to run in for the cash and she was going to get stopped by like a surprise RKO, because I would have lost my shit. Like if she's running to the ring and she gets RKO'd on the way to the ring.
Now, how they did that at Survivor Series, I thought was really
what a
smart
great bait and switch.
Because they set up to be CM Punk, and it wasn't CM Punk. It was still Randy.
Well, they announced Randy.
I know they announced Randy, but the fact he wasn't there, they could have replaced him with CM Punk. They could have done anything.
Yeah.
But then, like, okay, people were so happy with Randy, and then post-credit scene, there was like CM Punk. I was like, oh, okay, that was really, it was really well done.
Yeah, it was so smart.
It was really well done.
I'd even like, I was talking to Charles at the time and watching. I was like, they're gonna cash in during War Games. It's like it's brilliant. The match doesn't start till everybody's in the ring. If he cashes in now, it works.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
it was a good idea. It was good writing, good booking, and it was clever.
What a finish! And Randy speaking in tongues randomly as he's as he DDTs somebody. He was like, yeah.
Yeah. It's like Jesus. Because after Survivor Series, I watched the Awesome Tacular or whatever it was called.
Oh, This Is Awesome.
This is awesome. And it was like the greatest villains, and it was Randy Orton. And like it was the part when Randy Orton's like he gets this. I just gotta fucking yeah.
Oh, I've seen that one. Yeah.
Like that interview. Yeah. My dad's just like. I'm going. My dad's like, I've had enough. I'm like, Dad, you don't understand. Randy Orton's a fucking psychopath.
Yeah. Props to JD McDonough for being a trooper.
Yeah, what an RKO. That was great.
JD McDonough's probably the happiest person on the Raw roster right now. It's like, oh my God, thank God Randy's not here anymore.
Yeah, he flew like Snooker and took a bump like Foley.
Oh man, yeah, Randy's the right choice. It's gonna be great. Randy's gonna help out LA Knight a fuck ton.
You know, I think LA Knight's peaked.
I don't think so yet. I think my prediction, if I'm booking Mania, he beats Logan Paul.
I mean, that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
But he has to keep the momentum because he's not become stale, but he's become forgotten since his Roman match. Because you got what you wanted, right? We as fans got what we wanted. We wanted
now
the
what
match.
do you do?
Now what? Exactly. Now what? So he's not.
It's also now what, and oh, by the way, Randy and CM Punk are back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's a little bit of an afterthought. They gotta find a way to keep the momentum because the crowd's still behind him, surprisingly.
And he's not even in the U.S. title tournament.
Right. But he's not on the come up anymore. He feels like he's plateaued.
He's stuck because they clearly don't want him in the U.S. title thing just yet.
He's gonna lose.
They want to use him in the upper mid card, which is good for him. But he has to have something that's
he's going after the bloodline, which is his natural story.
He's got and
then when he's done with that, then he's going to go after Logan Paul because that's the match, dude. That's a great match.
Oh yeah, as an opener, can you imagine that LA Knight opening Mania?
Yeah, I can. It's gonna be incredible. We're gonna be there,
it's gonna be great.
I can't wait for Mania, dude. It's gonna be so much.
It's gonna be so much fun, dude. I almost hit you up. They're offering. As a side package for Mania, and we'll move over to the next item in a moment. They're offering as a side package for either before night 1 or night 2, you can get to have like Superstar Brunch.
Oh, with who?
And they don't tell you. It's like they rent out a restaurant. You get to have brunch for a couple of hours, and you get to meet all the superstars who are there, and they like work for tables and whatnot. But it's like $350 a pop.
Ooh, drinks included or not included?
Everything's included.
Oh, that's worth it. Yeah, I would do that. Yeah, I would do that. $350, I can do that.
It's a matter of doing it night 1 or night 2.
Definitely night 1. Yeah, because day 2 I'm like, ugh.
Again.
Yeah. No, I would totally do that. Willy T Productions is picking up, so I have money.
So keep it on the horizon. I'll send you a link. Moving on to CM Punk, the hottest guy in pro wrestling again, is feuding with the king of the petty in purple, Seth Rollins, officially.
These are two guys who both want to main event WrestleMania, but also don't want to lose in that main event of WrestleMania. That's all I've been thinking since they come back. It's like, dude, I want to see this match because one of them has to fucking lose, and then neither of them are going to want to pin the other one or get pinned by the other one.
This is an interesting dynamic. They played this up well. It is rumored that this segment, which went about 15 or so minutes, including CM Punk's little promo before he signed with Raw.
I still have to watch it. I didn't watch Raw this week.
Did you watch the SmackDown? The SmackDown promo's better.
I did watch SmackDown. I watched Tribute to the Troops was awesome. Tribute to the Troops was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, I like how they identified who used to be in the military, which I thought was really cool. Especially they highlighted Bobby Lashley, which I think was awesome for him.
Montez, which I didn't know.
Oh, Montez is a Marine. He acts like a Marine.
Actually, no, I did know that. I lied. I did know that. Yeah.
But no, that was really cool to see. But CM Punk's promo at the 9 o'clock hour saying, it's the top of the hour, they're not gonna cut me off. I'll go, oh fuck, here we go.
Yep, he's like, his whole joke is like, there's no fighting backstage. Who does that like, in 2023?
He's like, oh, look, I could feud with Kevin Owens, but like, we have a thing for punching people in backstage, and like, it's 2023. You shouldn't be punching people backstage. It's like, you're a dick. You're still a dick.
It's like, you were the one punching people.
Oh my god, his segment with KO afterwards was amazing.
It was really good, and WWE is very smart.
Yeah,
because AEW's like backstage drama was very clearly real.
Yeah,
where it's like WWE's is very clearly fake.
Yeah,
like it's very, very, very clearly fake because, and it's like, well, I think about this too because like, what's the difference? Because AEW did have a little bit of a, is it real, is it not real? Yeah, but it wasn't on camera.
Yes. Like,
WWE's is always on camera. You want to be asking, is it real on camera?
Yes.
You don't want to be asking, is it real when it's backstage? And that's what AEW got wrong.
That is correct. With this segment, obviously, we know the history and the video footage that WWE is clearly playing into of Seth losing his ever-loving mind as soon as CM Punk came back. You've seen that footage. I was like, oh, that's also to your point, because you see that footage and you're like, is this real? Because if you look at it, there's no WWE professional footage of Seth losing his mind. That's all from people in the arena.
Yeah, but WWE knows that.
That's also that's the brilliance of it. That's the brilliance of it.
WWE has the footage. They're just not using the footage. Like, there's also one of Rhea giving the middle finger. Like,
that was
everyone's
funny.
Upset. Like, Randy Orton's doing stuff. Like, they all have this footage.
Randy was sitting in a chair in the middle of the ring waving at Punk. I was like, this is totally Randy.
Yeah, because when you're out there, you're in character.
Yeah.
Always. Period. Jimmy Uso had to get carried off by the ring crew after that RKO.
Did you see that still video? On the ground.
Yeah, he's still the guy. They put him back in the ring, too. They didn't carry him off. They just put him back. Right? But you're always in character is the point. And Seth probably doesn't. Like, he legitimately doesn't like CM Punk.
Yes.
But Seth is also a professional.
Seth knows that there's money to be made. That is the difference.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And they're both going to do business. And, like, yeah, do people backstage hate CM Punk?
Absolutely.
Yeah. But guess what? How I told you Edge isn't in the locker room with Jungle Boy, CM Punk isn't in the locker room with Otis. All right? CM Punk has his own locker room. He is secluded and kept away from everybody.
He's with Kofi.
Because people – exactly. Yeah. But like CM Punk isn't going to get in the backstage fights because he's not going to see people backstage. You know what I mean? He's going to come in, he's going to do his business, he's going to fucking leave because he's a piece of shit and people don't like him. Like, this is a place of business, all right? Like, if you don't like people, separate them.
Yeah.
And if you got to do business, right? CM Punk isn't here to cause issues. CM Punk generally looks happy to be here. He looks happy to be home.
That's the change, yeah.
He has a new lease on life. Like, he doesn't look jaded. He looks like a new person.
He looked great when he walked out. I was like, wow, he looks great.
Yeah,
you know?
like, and I know I hated CM Punk a few months ago, but I am willing to give this guy another chance. Because I think WWE is smart to be like, okay, you have issues. People have issues with you. Bury the hatchet on your own time. You know, deal with it. Mm-hmm. But until then, we as a company are going to make sure that you are kept away. Because, like, you think Roman is in the locker room with these other people? You think Seth is in the locker room with these other people? No. Cody is in the locker room with these other people? Like, that's what I mean. Yeah. Like, these upper main event stars get treated differently.
Yeah.
Like, they're not on the road with the people. Like, yeah, like, if they're seeing backstage, sure, they shake hands and say hi. But in terms of, like, their private time and getting ready and match preparation, they're not all together. It's not that locker room of boys culture anymore like it was back in the old days. Like, Taker was the locker room leader. Like, it's people are – you think Drew is – like, doesn't have his own private area? He probably does. He's a main eventer.
So, yeah, no, the Punk thing. To this segment in particular, which is a great segment, they stood in the ring. They had that face-to-face, which is the cover of our show this week. This screams Night 1 WrestleMania main event. Somebody just got kicked off the main event of Night 1 because CM Punk and Seth Rollins are about to tear their house down when that occurs. Hopefully they don't blow their load at the Rumble, which I don't think they will. But apparently this segment here has no producer credit. It's rumored that there's no producer credit for this segment. So one can assume that a lot of the words that came out of Seth's mouth was a lot of how he felt. Because you said you didn't watch it, right?
Not yet. I'm going to watch it.
Seth said things about... Seth came from some real heat. Drew's been saying a lot of real stuff too. But Seth, because CM Punk said this is his home, he's happy to be home, blah, 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 blah. And Seth said, don't you dare call this your home. You were gone for almost 10 years, and every chance you got, you bashed this place. This is not your home. This is my home.
You almost put me with Chris Hero. That's what he should have said. But he's right. I mean, he is right. Because CM Punk, like, listen, you gotta win back the locker room. As much as you are secluded and everything I just said, like, you do have to win back the boys because you do have this stink on you that you do deserve.
Yeah.
But the boys got to give you a chance. Like, Bobby Lashley also had an interview. He was just like, yeah, he was coming up when I was on the way out, so I don't really know CM Punk, but I think it's a mistake to just put him in the main event and give him a title. You know, like, he's got to earn it. Mm-hmm. I agree. He has to earn it. He definitely has to earn it.
Yeah, well, he's going to go up against Dom in New York City, which I am very tempted to buy tickets for.
On the 26th.
Yeah, I'll join Kay or something.
Yeah, I'm not going to be here, but you and Kay should definitely go.
But no, Seth went on and started bashing CM Punk. He said, and I think this was really a shoot. He goes, I'm gonna tell you right now. He literally said in a comment, he goes, I hate you. I was like, oh, that's not Seth. That's Kobe Lopez.
Yeah.
He goes, I hate you. And I also feel like that's because I hate you because I'm going to have to job to you soon. Like that. Like, you ever notice that Seth's always in the position because he's so consistent. He's so loyal. Bully Ray said this on Busted Open Radio. And so did David LaGreca. He goes, loyalty does not get rewarded, especially in wrestling.
Correct.
You know, and Seth's going to get looked over and over again to help get other people over. You know why? Because he did it already with Cody Rhodes. I mean, Seth is going to be in that position again. They're both going to get the main event. One of the big gripes with CM Punk in his first WWE run was that he never got the main event, and he was a champion for 434 days before Roman blasted that out of the water. And Seth, being the consistent person, was a mid-card match this year at Mania. He bitched and complained, him and Becky did, and we're getting to Becky in a second, Big Hirsch, about Seth not getting the main event, that they finally said, shut up, Seth, here's a world title. You might get the main event, but he might lose at that point to CM Punk. when it
Dude,
happens.
here's the thing though. It's WrestleMania 40.
Yeah.
40.
4-0. Yeah, four decades of Mania.
And this might be an unpopular opinion, but the rumor is, and I think this would be an amazing angle.
Okay.
You have CM Punk. You bring back the Stone Cold sessions, the Stone Cold.
Oh,
not me, man. Podcast.
We're well
And
overdue
Austin,
for a good Broken Skull session.
Austin asks him about, walking out. They had that conversation.
Because people forget Austin walked out.
Austin walked out, but you turn that into another pipe bomb, and it's a work. And I would honestly rather see Punk Austin main event night 1, and then Roman Rock main event night 2. I mean, Ricky, think about it.
You just want to see The Rock because you've never seen The Rock.
Correct. I've also never seen Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, well, that's true as well.
But as much as I would love to see Seth, this is a phenomenal main event, Seth and Punk. Don't get me wrong. They both deserve it. It's a phenomenal match, but it's WrestleMania 40. And Punk Austin, I think, is a match everyone's always wanted to see. And if you can have Rock and Austin main event WrestleMania one more time, back to back for WrestleMania 40,
that's bonkers.
That is just a fucking nuts story.
Yeah,
that's gonna make that TKO stock go up to like $100, right? So help a brother out here. Probably not gonna happen, but I think that's a smart angle. You do a Stone Cold Sessions, and that's how you kick off the angle. Punk gets in his face, like slaps him and walk off the set to end the session.
Yeah,
like I think, and then you off to the races.
I mean, I enjoy that. Your attitude there, nostalgia, because you've never seen Rock or Austin, and I get it. You need, like, it would be a shame to your life if you've never seen the Glass Shatter in person. I will tell you that right now.
I know. Tell me about it. Fucking tell me. I didn't go to last year's WrestleMania, right? I got to believe me. I'm fucking aware.
Well, but 38 where I was at, yeah. But I don't think that it's great, but it's not needed. Like, they can show up, but I don't see them wrestling. I think the great story is, I think your 2-night main event setup, because you got the world title and you have the WWE title. CM Punk wins the Rumble, wins the Rumble because it's the same event where he walked out of. He wins the Rumble, he challenges Seth, the story writes itself there. The twist is, Damian cashes in on Punk when Punk wins.
Neither of you.
Yeah, exactly. Not of you. Screw them both.
You both bitches.
So the fact that Punk wins, Cody doesn't. Cody goes to Elimination Chamber. Cody wins the Elimination Chamber, challenges Roman.
Yeah. That's. I mean, I'm fine with that too. I would love to see Cody Roman again, especially because we're going to be there. I'd love to see Rock Roman. I'm
kind of mad I missed Cody Roman 1. But I'm also okay because I knew it would have ruined my trip to LA when Cody lost.
Yeah. Honestly, though, I do think Seth goes over Punk.
It would be. I mean, it would be well deserved if he did. It's like it's a matter of who do they want to reward for that Mania Night 1. Like, it's do you reward consistency, or do you want to reward the hot hand who somehow remains hot no matter what the hell he does?
Yeah, but CM Punk's gonna be a hot hand whether he wins or loses, right? Really,
I mean, so is Seth.
Yeah, but I think in this instance, you do reward loyalty.
Yeah. But then the question is, who the hell does Seth drop to at that point?
Well, Damian, right?
I guess. I'm very concerned about Damian's Money in the Bank run.
Well, you could also, you know what? You could have him. You could have Punk just win with a roll up, right? Roll up, grab the rope, some kind of shenanigans.
Yeah.
And then the next night, like, Punk calls him out, they brawl. Punk hits a GTS, Anaconda Vice. Then Damian cashes in the night after Mania, and then this feud can continue, the blood feud.
Yeah.
While Damian has the belt.
Yeah. That's why.
There's plenty of ways.
You can work around it.
Or you can do it vice versa, where Punk wins by shenanigans, like, low blow or something. Punk can turn heel, right?
Sure.
At Mania against Seth, which would be fucking great. Yeah. And then the next night, Seth beats the fuck out of him. I mean, beats the fuck out of him.
He just lets all of his anger out.
Yeah, and then this feud, because this feud's gonna be more than one match. It's gonna be 3 matches, right?
It's gotta make it to April. That's all it has to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gotta make it to April, and April's enough time.
There's plenty of ways they can do it.
Yeah. No, I'm very excited for this. Because as a wrestling fan, we do know that there's a lot of real hate in this matchup. That's what makes it great. There's a lot of real hate. And the best response, because Seth went off on CM Punk, and CM Punk gave the most dangerous response. CM Punk, for the most part, had his arms folded that whole promo.
Yeah, he knows. So he was just on spooky
Yeah,
fingers.
and then CM Punk took the microphone and said, "Are you done?"
Oh, God, that's really good. That's wow. Where's the applause? Yes, that's why I'm a CM Punk fan. Fuck. Oh.
And then CM Punk says, "This is the one pass you get about talking crap to me to my face." And then he walked out. So I'm like, all right, we're holding it. We're holding the rebuttal for another time. I'm like, this is brilliant. This is brilliant.
That is really good.
Yeah. So we've had power couples in WWE, but we now have petty couples in WWE because Becky Lynch.
What's wrong with Becky now? Like, what the fuck is she complaining
Becky's
about?
still mad about Nia.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
That's what it is.
This is a work too.
I'm like, Becky, let it go. Like, you got Becky's whole shtick here, and Big Hurst, back me up on this. Becky's whole shtick here is that she never got back at Nia for what Nia did to her.
Oh, sorry, it's main event of WrestleMania. Fuck, we forgot about that. You were on main event Survivor Series, or I don't know, WrestleMania.
Yeah. And to my recollection, I thought Becky got her backstage and that quick backstage fight, whatever, when Nia returned. Becky, this is another great segment. This is the best Nia has ever looked as kind of a sniveling heel. Nia's also funny in real life.
Yeah. She also looks
She
great.
looks fantastic.
I remember when I said when she first came back, she lost a lot of weight. She put a lot of effort in. I'm glad to see her back.
I think she had
really
double knee surgery. She had to.
Oh, God damn.
Yeah. And Becky did make a comment. She goes, nah. I think she said something like, Nia's so bad, her knees wouldn't even stand up for her. I was like, holy shit. So Becky still wants to get back at Nia. And Nia, this was smart writing. It's my second favorite promo of the night. Nia said, "Oh, really, Becky? You're still mad at me? It's like, when are you going to acknowledge the fact that I punched you and made your career?"
She's correct. I mean, she was on the way up anyway, but that was an exclamation.
Yeah, and then Becky's like, "You didn't do all of this stuff, blah, 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 blah. I did it on my own, blah, blah, blah." And Becky keeps going back, and then Nia just looks at her, because Becky's like, "I'm here to fight you, blah, blah." And Nia looks at her and goes, "You need this more than I do," and walks out.
Oh, yes. It's correct. It's true. Nia's like, my career is pretty much in the tubes. It doesn't even matter. Like, you're on the way down. I'm already at the bottom. Like, you can't hurt me.
Yeah. I was like, wow. I was like, okay, there is still something here with Nia and Becky. I'm for it. I didn't think I'd want to see Nia and Becky, but guess what? I'm here for it. I'm very happy with Nia's work thus far. They're kind of positioning her to kind of be this kind of Yokozuna-like character. They gave her the bonsai drop. They gave her the bonsai drop, which is awesome. I'm interested to see where this goes. This is a non-title women's feud, which women's feuds that don't involve the title are highly needed. This is a great Rumble match. There's a lot of Rumble setup. This is a great Rumble match.
Yeah, this match is just, well, why not? Why not do it?
Yeah, they're both back.
There's no reason not to do it.
Yeah, I love the fact that the writing room has allowed, and Becky and Nia have allowed Becky to realize, like, oh yeah, by the way, I was main eventing and you were busy getting fired. Becky did mention that. So it's good, it's great. Let them duke it out. Let's finish this and let's move on to something once Rumble season hits. So good for them. Last and certainly not least, we have the funny story of Shinsuke and Cody Rhodes finding a way to get color in WWE by having Shinsuke spit in his face. which is exactly what.
That's a great question. that is a really Cody sold that really well. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The Mist is overdone. I'm kind of sick of the Mist.
It's, you know what it is? It's because Asuka uses it as well.
Everyone uses it. Every Japanese person has like this gland that can spit mist.
This gland.
I'm scared to go to Japan. Don't mist me. I'm gonna go off the airport and just fuck.
Oh man, yeah. I thought this was going to be Rumble. I thought they were setting up to be Rumble, but like you said, it's not believable yet for Shinsuke to win something. And is this just another Cody setup? Is this something to like Cody biding time?
Yeah. It's something for them to do.
Like, I like the stories. Here's the thing. I like the stories that Shinsuke gets into. His story with Seth was great. Seth stopped selling his back, but whatever. The story with Seth was great. The story with Cody has some legs to it. The issue is Shinsuke has to win something.
Yeah, the problem, like I said earlier in the show, the problem with Shinsuke Nakamura is there is nothing they can do to make me think he's going to win. Mm-hmm. Period. Because everything he's doing is really good. This is the best character work
he's ever done,
and in-ring work. Maybe not in-ring, but best character work that he's done in the company.
Yeah,
by far.
Yeah, it
works. It connects. It's clever. It's unique. It's different. He's just not going to win. He's a mid-card heel in a main event feud.
Yeah, and WWE's card is so top heavy now.
Yeah,
so top heavy, man. They're an This is
go ahead, yeah. This is an NXT championship gimmick right here.
The WWE is at a point where they're at an embarrassment of riches.
Yeah,
great problem. It's a great problem to have. You're not going to get a bad show any which way you get. Like even some of the other matches on this week. Like I watched Ivar and Bronson Lee almost break the ring. That was a match on Monday. Yeah, it was amazing. You ever see two big men do a superplex?
No, I don't want to. I got to tell you though, I don't give a fuck about the Creed brothers.
Athleticism, they're great. Personality-wise, they're horrible.
Yeah. Or DIY's back and yay.
They had a great match as they were in Cleveland and they partnered with The Miz.
Amazing.
But yeah, there is so much potential on paper for Cody and Shinsuke, but there needs to be a back and forth, and I don't think they're going to give it to Shinsuke. No,
because Cody's on the rise, right? Because the writing's on the wall for WrestleMania season, and Shinsuke is just Shinsuke's a hurdle, which is fine.
Yeah, it's good to have a hurdle.
He plays. It's storytelling. This is his part to play in the story.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes the story's predictable. It means it's not good. It's just predictable.
Yeah, and that's perfectly fine. I will tell you this: I am very excited for when January hits. January is going to be crazy when Rumble season hits.
Yeah, dude, I'm glad there's no December pay-per-view.
I am too. Deadline, they made Deadline the final one this year, which is very good. Very happy for them to do that. It's a break, and as they should, you gave them about 8 weeks to set up Royal Rumble and WrestleMania season. Perfect.
Yeah.
Everybody, this has become, you have to start doing work. This is the prove your worth part of the wrestling season. Like, you want to be a big person next year? Show me that you can do something when there's no pay-per-view to fight for. It's a big deal. And I love it. I love where things are going. I feel like we're in a great period of pro wrestling. CM Punk's in WWE. Okada might come over to WWE or AEW. Mercedes Moné might go anywhere. MJF might, Yeah. This is better than the Attitude Era. This is better than the Attitude Era by leaps and bounds. Better than Ruthless Aggression, better than Attitude. From a quality perspective. Not from monetary gains.
Well, by monetary gains as well. The only thing it's not is in terms of viewership. But that's because it's the model. You can't compare the model.
Yeah, the model's weird.
Like you can't compare TV ratings and 9 millions and 10 millions every single week to 65 million views on social media across all channels.
Absolutely.
It's just it's not a fair comparison. It's comparing a book to a movie.
Yeah.
right? It's not the same. But is it better than the Attitude Era? Oh, top to bottom, and it depends how you define
Top
better.
to bottom, I think so.
Athleticism,
yeah.
Character work, arguably. In terms of who's over, WWE has a lot of people who are really over on both sides of the spectrum. So you got as much as LA Knight's over as a face, Dom is just as over as a heel.
Dom lost the NXT title. He lost the North American to Dragon Lee.
Yep. Randy's forever over as a legacy. Cody Rhodes is really over. Roman's super over. Seth's over. Punk's over. Fucking dude, Otis is over. Tozawa's over. R-Truth is over. Like
R-Truth is a menace to Judgment Day on Raw.
Yeah, Judgment Day's over. I'll say, EO and Damage Control, they're not really over. I don't know why they're not connecting.
I don't know. You know what it is? It's
the storyline's good. The writing's
the story's
good.
fine.
The stuff with Bailey is good.
I think it's Bailey's delivery. Like I adore Pam Martinez and I think she's awesome, but I think she's like when Bailey was super heel, especially during like Golden Role Model era with Sasha, she was fantastic, like best ever.
Yeah.
And when she was super babyface, when she first started Hugger, great. But now she has to play this. She's in the tweener role right now. She's in the like, I'm a heel, but I'm on my way out to becoming a babyface, and the transition spot that she's in right now, she doesn't do well.
Yeah.
Because you want to make her, she wants to be seen by Damage Control as heely. Like, I'm part of the group, I'm trying to heal, but like, you're trying to also portray to the audience that she should be somebody that you should give sympathy to.
Yeah.
And it's not like, hitting.
I like it. I enjoy it, but the crowd overall, it's
not hitting. Yeah.
It's not hitting like everything else in the card is hitting. Because on WWE programming, almost
everything hits.
Everything is hitting.
Freaking even Maxine is almost over.
Yeah. The crowds are really, really good. They're into everything. Even like Michael Cole's having a great time. Like, everyone is.
They're so happy they brought back JBL.
Yeah, they even brought back JBL. Everything is just firing correctly. Like WWE is very, very cohesive.
Yeah.
Drew is over doing really good work. Him as a heel are really, really good. Their backstage things are funny because we were watching Raw with my dad, and he was just like, Otis came out. He's like, "Were these guys on a commercial yesterday for Survivor Series?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's just what they do."
Wait. Hold on. We have a little bit of breaking news before we get out of here. Ridge Holland has struck again, according to Smiley. Ilya Dragunov, the current NXT champion, was taken out on a stretcher during a live event.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. If we remember Ridge Holland from such hits as almost ending Biggie's life and career.
Yeah, and the Yas Boy. Even they're over, dude. The Australian guy, Grayson Waller, he's pretty good.
Grayson Waller's freaking amazing.
He's trying to carry on. I don't know what happened to Austin Theory. Well, John Cena happened to Austin Theory.
We know what happened.
But Cena's run was incredible. I missed a lot of that. I didn't get to talk about that.
The best thing they did was have Grayson Waller and Austin Theory as like the douchey tag team bros.
Yeah.
I was like, they're great. Yeah. They're absolutely
People are bitching about Roman, but like, dude, you don't
need Roman.
Roman doesn't need to be on TV right now.
He's coming back this week, but you don't need him.
I know he's coming back this week, but like people are saying he's dropped a ton. I'm like, what are you fucking mind? What?
No.
Like, do you not? You got to build the rest of the show.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, the last time we saw Roman on TV, Nick Aldis, like the best thing I saw because Cody was there for some reason. He did like a special, appearance, and you had Cody walking past Roman. They stood each other in the face. You had Nick Aldis very smartly like put his like hand in between, like, hey guys, save it. I was like, this is beautiful. I was like, you just told us what the main event was and didn't have to say a word.
Yeah, and that was like his first night.
I was like, all right, he gets it. He sold a great RKO too. Nick Aldis sold a perfect RKO for Randy.
Hey, Nick Aldis has main evented a Bound for Glory, right? He knows what he's doing.
He's a pro.
That's Magnus, all right? That's Magnus.
What's Magnus?
He beat AJ Styles for the title, all right?
Oh my god. So, but yeah, no, it is a great time to be a pro wrestling fan. You honestly, I'd watch Impact at this point because you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong right now.
You know, if Impact Plus was free, I'd watch it. I'd watch.
It's only Impact for another couple of weeks.
Yeah, I know. TNA.
TNA Plus. And Ryback had to officially retire, which is great.
Dude, fucking Ryback.
Did you hear about that?
I did, dude. I vaguely follow Ryback. He pops up on my Facebook feed every night. I watch his reels. The guy's a fucking psychopath. The guy's out of his fucking mind. But you know what, dude? If he came back to WWE, he'd also be over. That's how good wrestling is right now.
Ryback is a perfect AEW guy.
I heard Edge only goes to, come on, give it to me on one side of the ramp.
That's weird.
Because the other side doesn't have people there.
Oh my god.
Dude, I don't know what AEW does wrong though. For real. Like I don't know what they're doing wrong. Cause I got a buddy I used to work with. He texted me. He's like, hey, are you gonna be around January 3rd? Are you going to AEW at the Prudential Center? I go, no. I'm like, yeah. He's like, I prefer AEW because WWE is too polished.
I mean, I get that.
I'm like, that's why I like WWE because
it's
so clean.
It's a clean production.
He's like, I want blood. I go, I get it.
You know,
like,
people watch NASCAR for car crashes. I get it.
AEW is the wrestling fan show, like the diehard wrestling fan, but it's like it's not
polished.
Not enough. It's not enough.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't know what AEW did wrong. I don't know what they're doing wrong.
They're trying to polish too. Like I've seen, I watched their last pay-per-view. I forgot what it was at the moment. But like for the matches they care about, their production, their promo hype, they've gotten better. They've improved with that. It's just like something's just not hitting.
I don't know why they can't sell tickets.
Outside of Swerve. Swerve's like carrying the company right now. Swerve's the hottest thing.
Yeah.
That fucking dance.
Like the fact that they can't sell tickets is very, very surprising. They're getting 3,000 people for a show. That's pathetic.
Yeah. That's house show numbers.
That's really bad.
Yeah. I don't know what it is because
honestly it's probably just too many shows.
They're overexposed.
Yeah,
they're overexposed, and I also think it's something that we talked about a very, very long time ago when Andrew Zarian was on the show, and I brought it up. The thing that makes WWE special is that you can only find their superstars there. You're not gonna see a WWE superstar on the Indies unless you're Dolph Ziggler because he just got fired, and he's making his return, and things like that. And there's a kind of a special thing where it's like there's a special exclusivity thing, so you feel like you're seeing something that you can't get anywhere else when you go to a WWE performance.
Yeah,
where you're like, oh, I can go see Swerve at AEW, or I can go to House of Glory and watch Swerve tear the house down.
Yeah,
you know, and Swerve's tearing the house down everywhere with that fucking dance, and it's Nana and shit, and it's really bad because before we head out of here, I was like just getting ready for the show and walk around my house. I'm done with work and stuff, and his theme song got stuck in my head. I go, God damn it!
So you start doing? I don't know the dance.
I'm not doing that dumbass dance. The beat's great, but I'm not doing that dance. I can't. But it gets stuck in your head. That death match with Hangman Adam Page was unreal.
Yeah, like people who watch AEW, who I know, who I listen to watch it, they love it. Like people who watch it really like it, and I think that's good. I think the fact that AEW exists, I think, is really important. The fact that it's a little bit more niche to that wrestling hardcore fan. We wouldn't get
good WWE if it wasn't for AEW right now. Like competition's a real thing.
Yeah, but I wish it was doing better. And I don't know what it is because it used to be like, yeah, they're bad at business, they're not good at marketing, this, that, or the other. But
they got better at business.
I think well, he lost $34 million
allegedly.
But I think it's something bigger than that because something's not clicking with the audience.
It's true, and that it's not clicking, and then you also have the thing that WWE is now just massively expanding beyond belief at this point. Like it's blowing my mind how much they're doing. Like the Big 12 title game.
Yeah.
You know, it was the WWE Big 12 Championship is literally what it was. They had the under.
Maybe UFC is blowing their TKO stuff. They're not holding up their half.
There was a. Oh, we can. That's what we can do. You can help me with the because I'm part of WWE's like little fan council thing, and where they just survey you about random shit. We can talk about that. But I know in one of them, one that I did recently was that they discussed the concept of, would you be interested in doing a package deal where there was a UFC event one night and a WWE event the next night? And doing like a combo package.
Who asked that question?
It was part of one of the random surveys I give out to people on the email list.
That's really good market research for them to do.
Yeah.
If I was to, I personally would.
I would do it.
I would be interested.
Yeah.
I would do that because I don't follow you. I very like I know names in UFC. I vaguely follow it, but I would do that because I've never been to UFC and it just seems fucking incredible.
Neither have I.
However,
I would want to go. It's a great drinking night too.
I don't think those. I wouldn't be surprised if the answers to those questions is mostly just like no, because
I don't think the crossover is big enough yet.
I don't think the crossover is big enough. UFC fans, like purists, a lot of them look down at WWE because it's like it's. I like real fighting.
Yeah,
and WWE fans are like. They're indifferent to UFC because they like the theatrics.
Yeah.
They're too different. They're two different the entities. Are just they're too different.
Which is crazy because like you have people like Adesanya who literally replicated the Undertaker's entrance, and people went nuts for it. You know.
Yeah, I mean, because there's showmanship.
Yeah.
Like people like showmanship in the UFC, but that's like for entrances.
But that's where it stops. Yeah.
That's where it stops. Because at the end of the day, it's all about can you
actually fight? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see if they actually go forward with it. It would be interesting thing to see. But anyway, we can talk about all of that. But let's get the fuck out of here. Yeah, welcome back, Will. Let's go to the post show.
Do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to Kings of the Rings podcast, episode number 362, Free Agent Frenzy. I may not be able to find any more free agents now that Will is back for another couple of weeks, but we'll see what happens. I've been your host, King Rickie Rose. You can formerly find me at Ambassador Biggs across all social media outlets. Formerly, until I return, maybe in a couple of weeks. January 8th sounds nice. Find Kings of the Rings podcast at KOTR_podcast across all social media. Like, share, subscribe, leave us 5-star reviews, buy some of our great merch. The links to all of that are in the description below. If you're listening to us, make sure you're listening to us on Wrestle Addict Radio, the cure for the common wrestling podcast, and follow Wrestle Addict Radio socials at addict_wrestle on Twitter and Wrestle Addict Radio everywhere else. The links to all of that are in the description below. Will Tarashuk.
Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is so good to be back. I missed this podcast. It's been a while since I've actually hosted any podcast, let alone my own fucking podcast. My name is Will Tarashuk, T as in Thomas, ARASHUK. I'll be back probably. I think I'll be back next week.
Yeah.
But after that, I'm going away for a little while again. It's the holidays, and then I'm back. I'm back in Vegas again, Ricky.
Jesus Christ!
I'm traveling again for work. CES. Yeah. So other than
shit!
Barcelona,
CES is in the early part of the year. Yeah.
Yep. So I was just in Vegas a few weeks ago, dude. I'm traveling all over for work. I'm back in Miami in February. And then Jazz and I doing a few days in Orlando, which I got to talk about Orlando in the post show. It's going to be fucking amazing. You're going to get a little of this shit.
I'm going to be interested in this.
T as in Thomas, ARASHUK. If you want to support my other work, go to YouTube, type in the World Foam Alliance, WFA. It is pretty much a league of Nerf dart blasters. Yeah, you think the wrestling community is weird? Let me fucking tell you something, brother. These people are... They're something special. They're a lot of fun. The community is a lot of fun. Everyone's super nice, but they shoot foam darts at each other for a living. But we did a 24-hour live stream for Toys for Tots.
That's awesome.
This past week.
I love Toys for Tots.
And we raised $7,165. 100% went to a charity.
Congratulations. So, Toys for Tots is always a great cause. I love those ads.
Yeah. So that was fun. All that fun stuff. Willy T Productions is rocking and rolling. I got a lot of big deals coming up in 2024. So everything there has been good. You want to follow me on my nonsense on social media? Main thing is find me is LinkedIn, where I make a bunch of posts talking to financial advisors and money people, trying to convince them to do podcasts. That's all my shit. It's going to be back. Hopefully it'll be back next week, the next few weeks, and more weeks to come once we kind of get our shit together. And once WWE gets their shit together with TV deals, then Kay and I will be back permanently on the Kings of the Rings podcast.
Yeah, we're going to figure it out. So when we come back next week, which might actually be our final show of the year, because I want to take a break too.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, we're going to figure out what the hell's going on for the rest of the wrestling year. We might do a best of. It might just be a fun show next week, to be completely honest. Like, we could come back and preview World's End, or we can wait until afterwards. That's what we're probably going to do.
I don't know what World's End is.
It's the AEW pay-per-view that's going to be
that's right.
December 30th at the Coliseum, the Nassau Coliseum.
That sounds
tickets
fun.
will probably always be on sale because we know how the numbers are. So next week should be a fun episode. We'll figure out what the hell we're going to do with it. Maybe we'll bring Slack on. He hasn't been on all year.
We are running out of time.
We are running out of time. We got to get that Slack quota up. So until next week, folks, goodbye, good night. We'll see you soon. And fuck you, Slack. This has been a Wrestle Addict Radio branded podcast.